Yo, what up, guys? Another video here on my series of, hey, let's check out other players and see how they do. I'm here with my boy, Weavyy. Pretty brand new player to the world of Uncharted. We started playing Call of Duty together a couple years ago, and we played in some circuits and some multiplayer stuff. But anyway, so this is really his first go-around with Uncharted. He played a couple games with us on every now and then on UC2. Nothing really special, but he's gotten into this. I totally talked him into doing it, and kind of starts slow, kind of gets beat down a little bit there, but no big deal. We're playing objective, so George is here as usual. I'm also in this game somewhere. I think I go like 20-5 or something, and I do my typical, I don't play the objective, I just kill people mantra. Anyway, so Weavyy, the type of player Weavyy is. Weavyy is he's very similar to me. He's the same kind of playing style. He's very in your face. His gun control is immaculate. It's very well handled. You can definitely count on this guy. If you get in a one-on-one gun battle with him, he's more likely going to beat you. Even if you have a slight head start on him, it's because he's so calm and collected when he takes care of these things. You know, he is the clutch guy. He is the clutch pitcher. He is the closer when it comes to this little team, this little shindig here. And you guys can learn a lot from his play style. He is very balls to the wall, so he will jump into battles and get himself in a situation he shouldn't always do. And you learn with that over time. Like any player, it's a good opportunity to sit there and, kind of adjust your playing style based on how he's playing and how he's doing. As you can see, Weavyy is running the M9. M9 is, it's the most frontal weapon you can use. I mean, like, everybody uses a FAL, and, I've never really given my opinion on the FAL, and I'll save that for another day. But the M9 it's an up close and quarters, kind of weapon. That's really what it's used for. It does have long range capabilities, and you can establish yourself with that. But he obviously doesn't realize that you need to run all the way to the edge to jump to grab that little section down there to jump up on the backside of the tower. But it's one of those things you live and learn. So he's jumping back in here. It starts off a little slow, like I said, but he goes on a monster streak here later in the game. Ends up producing a pretty good score. Always in the middle of the action. Always sitting here in the middle of this chain reaction gameplay we got going. This was actually a little bit rough to speak of the team itself. We had a little bit of a problem with 4 because they were constantly spawning up on 4, kind of getting in our way. But we did a good job, along with George and myself. We all three did a pretty good job of controlling that area. I don't know what this guy was. That same guy right there, I caught him on the opposite tower hanging off that ledge, and I just jumped up and kicked him off, letting him know what the business is. But anyways, coming back to Weavyy's gameplay, if I could compare him to a basic standards, Weavyy is definitely a slayer. He's always been like that. He's not an OBJ. He's not really more of a support guy. He's definitely in your face, and he's going to get his kills when he wants them. The biggest flaw I would say Weavyy has in his style is that he's a little too, I don't want to use the word arrogant or cocky about it, but sometimes there's times when you get on streaks and you start doing really well and you make poor choices because you think, oh, okay, well, I'm doing so well now that I don't really have to watch my back or watch the directions I go or how my gunplay, because gunplay can really falter in this game from time to time. You could be hot 1 minute, and then the next second, you could just be all over the place, and you don't know how to control it. That's something he really needs to work on as a player. It'll come a time. The more you play this game, the better understanding. I think he's played over 100 games now. I'm not entirely positive. Total fail on that nade there. Oh, could have possibly killed himself with that, but he didn't. He got where he needed to go. Definitely picked up that kill. I think that was one of my kills that he stole from me. Thief. But as you can see right there as you're watching, he's a little off-centered. Long range kills a little bit harder with M9, but you got to judge yourself. You got to base yourself. Something I want to cover on my gameplay thing is really understanding how to burst the M9. It's really important because you can actually do it. It's very vital, and I talked to Weavyy about it in one of our games, and it's trying to keep that dot in the center. And a good way to do it, as you can see why he's playing sometimes, is rounding that reticle. If you round that reticle around, it keeps that bullets obviously in a circle, and your bullets don't go kind of in like a star pattern. If you ever notice when you're shooting a little star all over the place, I don't know how he got that T-bolt kill. He thinks he's some immaculate T-bolt guy, but that's me. That title's left for myself. I'm kidding. But as you can see, when he does With an M9 kills, or most of the kills he does, he will round it instead of starring it. Because what it does is it allows you to kind of keep those shots in a center area and really incorporate, like a perfect example, you know, in that kind of situation there, it's hard to constantly keep it centered and round it perfectly, but he does a really good job of, you know, keeping it steady, keeping it close, and playing it well. Another thing he does well is his movement. This really comes off the idea that he has played a lot of competitive, you know, titles with myself. Call of Duty was our biggest one, and he actually made the jump this time. Good job, Weavyy. But you know, we played a lot of competitive titles together, so we know how each other plays. The same thing with George and I. I mean, we've played for about 2 years together now. Same thing with Weavyy and I. And you know, ironically, we actually became friends on the PlayStation forums before they became garbage, and they changed everything around about them and made them not fun. But like I said, we played Call of Duty together, and we have a good understanding of how each other plays. We've always had similar playing styles. We've always been very competitive with one another, and I think that leads to, you know, how we play. That situation there, he's trying to lead up the stairs. It's kind of hard because the way that the level alters, it's a little bit different to actually control your shots on that one. But he does a good job, puts enough shots on them. Look, sometimes you're not always going to get the kill. But the thing is, if you put enough shots and you call it out to your teammate, they're like, bam, I know this guy's at. I can run over here and I can take care of business. Totally avoids that quick boom. I don't know how he did it, but he did a good job. Again, the pistol kills. Pistol kills are a big deal. If you can really adjust yourself to be a good pistol, you know, pistolier, if you will, it's one of those things where, like, it'll really help you out in clutch, you know, in dire situations where, you know, you're on the last limb of your gun. There's plenty of times I can't even tell you how many times I will run out of ammo because I put so many shots into people. I will shoot everything that moves. It's one of those things, like, I know I've said it in my previous, you know, examples and or commentary that if you don't have a clear shot, don't take the shot. But I break my own rule, mainly because I know what I feel like I know what I'm doing. I have an understanding of where I'm supposed to be going, and I can pull it off. Didn't realize I was running out of time there, but I hope you guys enjoyed watching Weavyy's gameplay, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace!